Hey guys, what's up? What's up, everybody? Hope you're doing really well. We were supposed to do this at 6 p.m. my time, so in 1.5 hours, but I decided to bump it up just because I got home from piano lessons a little bit sooner. And what's up? Over on Twitch and over on YouTube. So I decided to just bump it up early just because I got to get up at 6 a.m. for the, 5:30 for the 2.1 Wuthering Waves live stream. So what's up, Dom? So the game plan is pretty straightforward. We're gonna dive in and film 2 videos this afternoon, early evening. One of them is going to be ranking weird songs based on how weird they actually sound and feel and are. And then the second video is going to be about, I would say, 6 fighting game tracks. Some in-depth sort of chatting. I don't want to make it be too superficial. Think of the other videos that I've done in this sort of genre, whether it's RTS games or main themes, kind of listening or Souls-likes or what have you. I just haven't done one for that particular genre. So that's the game plan. What's up? What's up? What's up? Buongiorno. Yeah, always working, dude. That sounds good. Let's definitely do that. Hello. Yeah, so I think I'd like to start with weird, just because this has been on my list for a very long time. These we'll do another one of these because I'm looking at about 20-ish tracks per thing. And I had some help from one of my wonderful mods, Suki, helping me sort of sift through some of this. And Suki knows my taste really well. So we've been able to find some really good ones here. So I'm going to dive in with weird and rank these. And then this will stay up. So I'm no longer getting rid of videos. Hey, what's up? Hey, Joel, what's up? Yeah. So we're going to start off with weird. Let me make sure that this is good. Okay, I see some visual novels. Yes, that's fine. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 10 each. Okay, 10 each. 1 second, guys. Insert, shift down. Nope. Insert and shift down. Oh, yeah. Nope. Okay. Start here for next video. Give me a second. And yeah, feel free to hang out and hello. A couple of first-time chatters over on Twitch. It's nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I mean, the videos, obviously, they get turned into full videos, but the live streams, it's a separate audience, kind of. I mean, not everybody that watches a live watches a video and vice versa. So it's like, no, there's no point on listing things. In fact, it's only hurting me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. This one. 1 sec, guys. Just like getting myself squared away here so that we can get started. You don't have a list. No, I have a list. Sadly, you don't get a list because that would ruin the fun, wouldn't it? So these will be 2 videos each. There'll be 2 videos per fighting game and 2 videos for weird, but I'll film the second ones of these probably later this month or next month. Start here for next video. What's up? What's up? Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Hope you're doing really well. Happy Thursday. Can you believe how fast time goes, guys? It's absolutely mental how fast time goes. I agree. Weird is subjective, which is why I'm making the video. I agree with you. What I think is weird, someone will think is amazing, and vice versa, but that's what makes it fun, right? All right, let's start off with weird. Yes, they have. Killer Instinct will be on the next fighting game video. We won't get to it today. That will be on the next one. Hey, everybody. Okay. So this is going to be, just so you know, I don't mind telling you. So Shin Megami Tensei 5, Danganronpa, Mother 3, Umineko, Pandemonium 2, Inscription, The Night of Fate, the House of Fate, Fata Morgana, Nights into Dreams, The Neverhood, and Tulip will be on today's Weird Songs ranking. And then next time it will be Art No Surge, LSD, Dream Emulator, Brutal Orchestra, Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, Sonic Rush, PGR, Metroid Prime, Lost Odyssey, Tales of Legendia, and the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. That'll be the next. And then as far as fighting games goes, today will be Under Night in Birth from Celeste, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Street Fighter 3rd Strike, Soul Calibur 2, Melty Blood, Tekken 5, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, The King of Fighters 98, Guilty Gear Xrd, Revelator, Frieza, and Dead or Alive 2. And then the next video for that, which will be in later this month, March, will be Persona 4, Blaze Blue, Killer Instinct, Marvel Arena Ultimix for Persona 4. Blaze Blue, Killer Instinct, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Godzilla Destroy All Monsters, maybe. Dragon Ball Z Infinite Worlds, Skullgirls, Grand Blue Fantasy, yes I did, Yellow. Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja 2, maybe, Street Fighter 6. So we're gonna be very busy with these themes. So, all right, let's dive into weird. You ready to go, chat? Thanks for being here and hanging out. I always enjoy filming with you guys. So if you're ready, I'm ready. But I need your go-ahead in order to confirm. No Lisa. I may throw one in there. Chat, are you ready? I have a dog. All right. You're ready. All right, you're ready. Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Marco. I'm a former professional opera singer, and I love talking about video game music in all sorts of different ways after spending a decade on the stage, listening to and discussing music from singing and talking about music from an emotional perspective. But today we're doing something different and a lot more fun. For me, personally, we're going to be ranking weird music. Now, what does weird music even mean? Well, that's a great question. I don't know. But today we're going to be ranking music from extremely weird all the way down to not so weird. Numbers in between. Let's get started. First up is Shin Megami Tensei 5, Battle Destruction. Let's see how weird this gets. Someone said that's weird. Man, that lower baritone sax in there is terrific. Oh man, we shifted meter. All right, hold on. Time out. You know, when I asked the community for this, so this is all community provided, and I have to say, this okay. All right. I mean, I could see why we would call this weird, but is it really weird? Like, I think that's actually kind of like, it's like incredibly moody. I mean, okay, it feels like it's a little esoteric, so it's like a little bit like you got to kind of know what's going on a little bit. I could see that. And if you think about it, there's a couple interesting things that are happening in there musically, several things actually. So let's see if I can remember them. First of all, it either is a bari saxophone or like a contra like bassoon or something. It's probably not a contra bassoon. That literally sounds like farts. But no, that hurts. Don't do that. That pressing in that is really, really definitely veers towards weird. It's not an instrumentation that we typically hear. Also, interestingly enough, there's actually a melody in this that is sustaining the experience. And then when you think of the layering, it's pretty interesting because it's a bolstering piece that, I don't know, there's a desperation in the sound, but it doesn't sound odd. Like, it doesn't sound like it doesn't fit. Like, it fits within itself. And there's almost like a contortionist element to it. I don't know if you can pick that up or not, but there's a quality in it of like just being not quite right. So yeah, and I certainly think it could fall into the weird scale of things, but at the same time, I also like low-key absolutely love it. And obviously we're going through my own subjective lens of what weird means to me. But so it's definitely crunchy. But the question is it weird? Like, is it like strange to listen to? So far, I don't think so. The meter shift in here was also really exciting. So it remains to be seen. Oh, thank you so much, Levita, for your Prime sub. I appreciate that a ton. Also, don't mind me if I'm not actively engaging with chat while I'm working through stuff. That's just how it goes. Okay, so don't take it personally if we're not like engaging or talking. Okay, just because I'm heads down here. But I do see you. I do appreciate you being in the chat. So don't get it twisted. I'm just in work mode right now. I'll look over in between songs. Okay. All right, let's get back into it. Wow, it's shifting again. Yeah, that's bari sax. Has an alarm quality to it, doesn't it? That's cool. Cool diminished notes there. This is like really interesting crescendo here. And then the pullback, classic. And that noise, that noise is almost like a deformed heartbeat. I mean, look, I'd be remiss to say that that's not weird. It's definitely like a unique soundscape that's really all of its own. And I actually have never really heard something like that in really my entire life of gaming. Like, it's definitely got an edge to it, and much as being an edge that I really like. It does get quite loud in the sort of up and downs of the dynamics, and there's a ton of different instrumentation in there. That's, I think, there is a pressure in that sound. There is a pressing that exists in that. And it is because of that pressure and that pressing, it does end up feeling oppressive, if that makes sense. Like it does feel like it's squeezing the life out of you a little bit. It's a cool freaking piece though, isn't it? I mean, I definitely, I guess, okay, if we're ranking this on the weird scale from 0 to 10 being the weirdest and 0 being the most tame, I'm going to put that squarely at a 5. Let's start it off at a 5, and let's see how deep in the weird hole we can go into the rest of this video. Yeah, I mean, I really, really, really dug that though. So I don't know. Let's see. Next up is Danganronpa, Mr. Monokuma's Lesson. How weird can it be? Danganronpa's entire existence is weird. Let's see what we end up with here. Oh. Oh, I gotta stop doing these challenges. Yeah, that one's weird as shit. I mean, like that. Oh God, I don't even talk about it. It's just strange. It's like ever so slightly. It could be microtonal. It's ever so slightly out of pitch. Or it's like it's out of tune ever so slightly. And that really like makes it like kind of crawl up your neck a little bit. And more than that, I think it's actually not a bad song. Like it's actually like a bop. But I find it like challenging to listen to because it is just ever so slightly unnerving, right? And it's like, okay, like something weird is going on here. What's happening? And why am I uncomfortable? And like, it's not a calming piece. It's not even like a galvanizing piece. It's not a sad piece. It's just a plain odd and strange piece. And that's a 7 out of 10 on the weird scale for sure. It's just like odd. I think musically it's interesting. But it is, there's a sense of discomfort in that I wouldn't want to sit with for more than, 2 to 3 minutes personally. It's just definitely like something that you don't want to be around. There's a real dis-ease in that sound, which I find really interesting. And the vocalism doesn't help it either. The vocalism, the way that it's kind of chanted almost, it feels like we're interrupting some sort of a ritual. And that is like a who's in here, like, hey, you know what I mean? And it's like, I don't want to be singled out like that. So yeah, that's a 7 out of 10. That's weird as shit. Let's check out Strong One, Masked Man from Mother 3. Okay. Interesting. Random speed up? What? The meter of that piece is really what's confusing because it feels freeform, which I think is kind of disturbing because it doesn't. Like it's really off kilter, and it definitely makes us feel. I don't know why it's called Strong One, Masked Man, but there's definitely like there's no stable footing in that. Even in the previous piece from Danganronpa, at least like you sort of like had a predictable vibe to it, whereas the improvisational nature of this particular piece makes it feel like you never know where it's gonna like jump out at you and be like, surprise, motherfucker, like you just don't know, and that's really disheartening and kind of uncomfortable. It's a weird piece. Yeah, it's definitely a weird piece. It's just not something like you wonder why it exists, and it's not because it's badly written, but because it's just odd. It's an uncomfortable soundscape, and it like pushes and pulls and it tugs and it backs off and then it comes back in and then backs off again and it comes back in, and that naturally lends itself to a feeling of stress. I would put that honestly that's probably like a, what did I give Danganronpa, 7 out of 10? Yeah, I'd give that like a, on a weird scale, I'd probably give it like a 6.5. Yeah, I'd say so. Just I mean, also how sparse it is. Like, there's just not a lot of instrumentation going on. So the main dominant instrument there is the drum kit, and that's not necessarily a problem if it's following rhythm and meter that we sort of expect it to. But when it deviates so harshly and it meanders so intensely, it's kind of uncomfortable. Yeah, that's, maybe it's even a 7. Maybe Danganronpa was too harsh on me. I think Danganronpa is probably a 6, and I'll put Mother 3 over at a 7.5 because we're veering towards like I never want to listen to that ever. And it's not quite as hardcore as like scary game music, but in a way, weird music is actually a better structure for a video like this because scary music is, yes, music can be scary, but weird runs the gamut, and that can be so many things. Even like a happy tune can be weird depending on what a composer decides to throw in there, which is I think kind of an interesting idea. Okay, we're in visual novel land pretty severely, but I think it's good to have a variety here. And the next one is Umineko, Happy Maria. Umineko is a visual novel. Yeah, let's listen to Happy Maria.
My riches golden dream on prodigal gold Rocking on the creature to glory of September Riches golden dream is magical gold
Jazz organ. Interesting harmony. Oh. It definitely has like classic like ghouls and ghosts vibe to it. Yeah. Freedom. Yeah, I think like this section where there's a sort of talked thing. Now the male singer actually ends up singing it a little bit more, so it kind of doesn't have that quite that sort of disturbed effect to it. I definitely think that the talking, like that, a little bit also kind of nasal pointed. That definitely is veering on the weird side, but this feels more like phantasmagorical. That's a word I just made up. There's a bit of a phantasm aspect to it. It's like I really do think Nightmare Before Christmas is absolutely a really fair exchange there. So I mean, Nightmare Before Christmas is a weird movie, I suppose. You know, you kind of have to have the taste to watch that. It may not float everyone's boat. Well, most things don't float everyone's boat. Let's be real. But you know, I don't necessarily. I think it's quirky. I don't think it's weird. Now do I think it's a little bit kind of strange? Yeah, okay, sure. But mostly because it fits like a classic Victorian, like, you know, when we think of like the sound of Disney and the sound of ghouls and goblins, this is kind of the sound that we get. So maybe it's also like a question of being desensitized to that sound because, you know, it really feels like it would fit into like a Pixar movie or something. So I'm really hesitant to say it's weird. It's definitely like a little bit fun. I think it's like, it's not off-putting, but I guess, you know, but I'm playing all these different adjectives to say that I really think it's probably like a 5 out of 10 on the weird scale. Like it's definitely like, okay, you know, like, you know, if you're going out with somebody on a very first date, maybe you don't put this on, or maybe you do because you want them to accept you for who that you are right away, which, you know, power to you. I'm very impressed by you. But that's neither here nor there. So I'd probably put that at a 5 out of 10 on the weird scale. We're definitely like encroaching on like, oh, this could be really bizarre. I think some things that would have made it more weird would have been less like clean instrumentation, definitely meter shifts, a lot more spoken. We call that parlato style, where it's much more in the mouth and less like sing-songy. I think the sing-songy aspects of it definitely lend itself to that musical theater vibe that I mentioned, or the Nightmare Before Christmas vibe, which is very similar to that same style, musical theater-y light. So yeah, I mean, I don't think it's too weird, but it's definitely a little weird, if that makes sense. All right, okay, all right. Now we've got Pandemonium 2. from the PS1. This is one's I've never heard of this before. Pandemonium 2. This is Lick the Toad, which feels like it will be very odd. Let's check it out. Oh, okay. We're like... This one's a little funky. That's strange. What is that chanting? I actually love this. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that that's a piece that you listen to, like, that's like what being high as fuck probably feels like. Like that is weird. Like, I think it has some redeeming qualities, the rhythm, the sort of like, I don't know, like the 90s, thousands, sort of like a little bit of like grungy kind of like, I don't know, like it's strange. I would love to not remember that piece ever again. Like, again, it's not that it's bad music. So I think like that's the delineation. Weird is just like, it's just kind of odd. It's just like kind of doing its own thing over there. Like, no one really asked for it. It makes sense in the context. Like, it's perfectly fine and good. It's just a very strange piece of music. I almost don't have anything to say about that besides like, I never want to hear it again. It's just really odd. It's really odd. And I think part of that is because like you've got the random chanting in there, random talking. You also have a fairly consistent rhythm, but then there's like this like vibrating like ooh. It's weird. I would put that at a 7 out of 10. I think it's weirder than, yeah, you know what? It's an 8 because that one's weirder to me than the Mother 3 track. I'm gonna put that at an 8 out of 10 on the absolutely weird video game music scale. It's just strange. I don't even want to think about it anymore. I want to remove it from my brain. Let's check out Inscription. Now, Inscription is definitely a weird game, but it's also an incredible game. I mean, I'm almost close to finishing it. It's definitely a strange, teeters on horror. Definitely teeters on the strange side of things, but I'm excited to check out The Trapper. I don't remember if I've ever heard this before. I feel like yes, but let's dive in. Oh, that sound effect is that. Love this. It's almost like the clip on the guitar is placed in a way so that there's no reverberation on the strings, which is really effective. I adore this hum. It's the sound effect. Wait. We will rock you. That's funny. God. Ew. Is it like... It's like either eating an apple pie or skinning something. Or like... Oh, God. It's like eating an apple. And shoveling. I really like that piece. Yeah, it's definitely skinning things, like if it's a trapper. You know, it's hard. On the one hand, I think that piece is actually incredible. So if this was like on a unique tracks list, which is a different thing than weird to me, I definitely think this would be near the top. I think that the sound effects are terrific at enhancing that feeling of discomfort. And there's a little bit of... The humming is really interesting. Humming is a fascinating thing because humming is something we all do. It's a very human sound, obviously. And humming is so straightforward. But it's interesting because in the lower register, obviously it gets a natural feeling of danger in it. Like, especially just the way that it humming kind of moves through the mouth, the oral pharynx, if you will, as opposed to the nasopharynx. The oropharynx, it becomes a cavern inside the mouth. So there's something about it not being clean. There's no vibrato. It's not like intended to sound beautiful. It's got a lot of body to it. It's really, really uncomfortable. But is it weird? I do think that the skinning and the sort of sound effect definitely bumps it up. But I'm kind of torn on this one because the guitar, the muted strings, so that it's kind of getting stuck and it doesn't vibrate and it doesn't have that brrrr sound, is very effective. I mean, it's a fantastically composed piece. Yeah, but that I think that's an 8. I think that's an 8. We veer towards 8 with that one. It's either between a 7 or an 8. I think it's an 8 because it is really kind of unpleasant and it's definitely weird. And it's done so incredibly well. Like it's just an exceptionally good track. So for me, that's an 8. I'll put that on an 8. That's definitely weird though. It's definitely weird. Although it's probably my favorite of the tracks we've listened to. So like on a scale for that, yeah. Weird is not a pejorative. And I think like that's something that we should celebrate, is that like weird doesn't mean bad. Weird means like weird. It's just unique. It's different. It kind of plays around with instrumentation. It does things. And I think that this is a great example of taking something and making it weird, making it kind of strange, making it a little bit off the beaten path that maybe someone wouldn't think to have a sound like that. So yeah, I'll put that at an 8. You know what? No, I'm going to put that at a 9. I really like that piece. The House of Fata Morgana. This is another visual novel. This is a track called Mephitis. Let's listen. Oh, fuck that. Ugh. No. We're not listening to any more of that. That is a 10. That is a 10. That is that. But that is actually horror music to me. That is so ungodly uncomfortable. That is incredibly terrifying. Again, why? Spoken chant with some text, that, then the sound effect. So this is an interesting piece because it veers towards sound design as well as music. And I find that in video games and in a visual novel like this, it's totally appropriate to like highlight the experience through sound and through instrument. And the sort of like pressing on the bow or that twisting sound, that really just like veered on extremely uncomfortable. And also the heavy like all that stuff, all that wrapped up together in a package. I don't want to listen to another minute of that. That is absolutely a 10 out of 10 on the weird scale. And honestly, that's probably a 9 out of 10 on the horror, scary game music scale as well, because that's just unnerving. It is not fun to hear. It's incredibly weird. And it's not like good, quirky weird. And it's not like, oh, that's a little strange weird. It's like truly like, what is in the person who composed that's brain? You know, that's like, to me, that's as weird to me as reading Uzumaki. If you've never read that, don't. Although terrific manga, but it's just so strange. Ugh. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that. Not even a tiny bit. Let's check out Nights into Dreams. She had long ears. Okay. A lot of these games I've just never heard of either. Oh, Nights from Sega. Oh, you hear the background vocals? Harmonica. Oh no, I like this. Love the beat pattern. Oh my god, the opera singing. Oh, oh. It's definitely quirky. Whoa! What? That electric guitar in the background with some real like jazz movement here. Little piano improv there. Boom, 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 boom. Walking bass, terrific. Whoa, did you hear that transition? Whoa, hold on. That's a crazy transition. Oh, wow. I actually dig this piece. Listen. The drum set sounds like it goes totally out of rhythm to enter into the new rhythm and the new tempo. Oh wow, that has like 4 distinct phases. Okay, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I definitely think it's kind of an odd duck piece. Like, it's just a little weird. But that said, like, I don't know. There's like a couple like legitimate like moments in that where I'm like, oh yeah, this is phenomenal. It does obviously have some really interesting twists and turns that I do think it's appropriate to put this on a weird game like song list, right? But it really ends up being like probably like a 3 out of 10. Like I don't think that that's like significantly weird. I think it's a little odd, yeah, but like the thing is, the things that are weird about it does so well, and they sound so good that it's really hard to sort of, I don't know, like it's a really good piece, and I think it's probably a phenomenal context piece. So yeah, a 3 out of 10. I mean, it's definitely strange, but it's done so well that it's hard for me to put it any higher than that. So that's a 3 out of 10 for me. Neverhood, the Neverhood, cough drops. Okay. Blues? Yeah. Oh. That's amazing. Yeah, that's super weird. That's like so endearingly weird. That's most certainly a 9 out of 10. Like that's just kind of wacky. I mean, you know what's funny? Listening to that. So I've started taking piano lessons, and no joke, when I'm playing, so I'm learning Howl's A Merry-Go-Round of Life from Howl's Moving Castle. Whenever I say Howl's Moving Castle, I always think Howl's Moving Asshole. Unrelated. I'll put myself on a 9 out of 10 on the weird list. And there's something about that. Every time you're like playing piano or playing guitar, or like there's a natural tendency to hum and to hum along. And it kind of felt like it was just like a dude like practicing like a blues standard, and then he's got like gets something caught in his throat. And it's just so funny, but it's endearing, isn't it? Because the guitar it's actually like really like just it's just a great blues pattern or whatever. And it just it's very satisfying to listen to. And weirdly, it's like, I mean, it's definitely strange, but I find it immensely endearing. I would definitely put that. Yeah, I would put that at a 9 out of 10. Like, it's just kind of a wacky piece, but it works. It works really well. And again, weird doesn't mean it doesn't work. Weird just means it's just strange. Like, it's just like, I can't believe that exists. And I just can't believe that particular piece exists 1,000,000%. That's definitely a 9 out of 10 for me. And then a Tulip, a Gentleman's Tea Break. I don't know what Tulip? Tulip. It must gotta be Tulip. Let's check this out. What? That's so weird. So I'm laughing. First of all, like again, another like really decent jazz blues scale approach to singing. I'm laughing because it's very much it feels very much like a pastiche on opera singers. And if you ever like interact with someone who doesn't know what an opera singer sound like, I'm really thinking of if you've ever seen the Great Brit. If you've ever seen the Great British Bake Off, I forget their name, but he's always like, on your marks, get set, bake, bake, and it's such a fake opera sound, and it just makes me laugh because it's very and it's funny because there's actually a name for this type of sound in the opera world, and they call it cravatin tenor because it sounds like the person's, usually a tenor, although this is a baritone. It sounds like the person is singing as if their tongue is a tie because everything's like stuck in the back of the throat and in the tongue because usually there's pressure on the tongue. And this is just like, it's just making me laugh because not only is it kind of bouncy and just very quirky, but also it reminds me of people being like, oh, cravatin tenor. Just, I don't know. Anyway, inside joke. That's so weird. It's like a very drunk person. But again, you get your walking bass. Boom, 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 boom. The coughing again. Oh, Olivia. Oh, yeah, no, that's weird as shit. I mean, like, that's also, that's probably like a 10 out of 10. In reality, I feel like the House of the Fata Morgana, what was that? House of Fata Morgana, that was definitely like, I mean, it's definitely weird, but it ends up being more of a horror piece, so it's hard. I would probably end up, I'm going to shift my numbers a little bit. I'm going to put that at a 7. I do think it's like very unnerving, but it's unnerving. It's not weird. And I would put The Neverhood and Tulip at about a 9.5 each. Just you can kind of decide where you want those to go. Like, they're just strange. And it's not that they're bad. Again, they're not bad. They're just fucking weird. And the fact that comes out of someone's creativity kind of blows my mind. Like, just like the capacity to create sound and create a sonoral world based around the weirdest shit possible is just fascinating. And I don't think weird music is celebrated enough. It's just so strange. Yeah, so I think that's my list. And if you enjoy this, let's do another one. I mean, I have another 10, 20 songs, and there's clearly much, much more weird music that exists out there. So definitely let me know what weird songs we should continue to look at. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a ton, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Not you, chat. All right. Wow. I need to remind myself that I have to stop doing that to myself because that's awful. It's just so strange. So strange. Yow. Crazy stuff. Weird is fun, isn't it? All right, we're going to shift over to fighting games now. Like I mentioned, for those of you that came in a little late, we will be doing, hold on one second. Okay, we're going to do, this is the list. Under Night and Birth from Sis Celeste, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Street Fighter's Third Strike, Soul Calibur 2, Melty Blood, Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection, Dragon Ball Z Fighter Z, The King of Fighters 98, Slugfest, Guilty Gear Xrd, Revelator, and Dead or Alive 2. That is the setup for the first video, and then it's 3520, so that'll be one whole video, and then we'll come back and do more of this later on in the month or in early March, depending on how it goes, and it should go well, though, because fighting games are just sort of underappreciated when it comes to music. So, all right, let's see. I may low-key not do this Dragon Ball Fighter Z because, well, I may film it and then have it become a short. Well, either way, it doesn't matter because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, yeah, 9 tracks. It's just plenty. All right, let me get my brain on. Well, don't worry. We can do like 100 videos on fighting game genres. There is King of Fighters. King of Fighters 98, Slugfest. All right. You ready, chat? Killer Instinct will be on the next video. Let me know when you're ready, and we'll get started. What's up? All right, I'm going to start. What? Why are you capsing my name? Take a sip of water? I don't have water. I just have another Olipop. I've been in an Olipop mood today. Ready to get ignored. All right. There's a community post up that you can leave your comment in. I feel like fighting games don't get a lot of credit when it comes to their amazing soundtracks. Now, all of us who love video game music know and recognize that fighting games, just like first-person shooters, have incredible OSTs that deserve to be celebrated. My name is Marco. I'm a former professional opera singer, and I love talking about video game music from an emotional perspective after spending a decade plus talking about it and singing it on the stage. Let's check out right away Under Night in Birth, Sis Celeste, what the hell is this title? Blood Drain again, Eltnum's theme. I've never heard this before. I have no idea what this is. Let's appreciate some fighting game music. Yeah. Oh, whoa. 6 syncopation shift. Slight delay. Nice doubling there. Da da da. Yeah, before we listen to another loop of that, I think it's really cool to stop and start a little bit and talk a little bit about characterization, because I mean, I think a lot of fighting themes rely on characterization, whether it's of an environment or of a character. We see that a lot with Guilty Gear, of course, and Blaze Blue to a same degree, I'm pretty sure. And what's interesting here is that there's a lot of heart in that sound, and I think what's really cool is that we hear the forward momentum in the rhythm. The rhythm is the tempo and the rhythm are the things that kind of keep this train moving. And on top of that, what I find really interesting is how like kind of emotional. Now that's a thing in general that we see with the electric guitar, is that the electric guitar is an incredibly, when we're not using voice, and I wasn't sure if we were going to go into voice with this, the electric guitar is always the thing that ends up being the closest thing to the voice when it comes to a sense of strength, a sense of virility, a sense of confidence, a sense of masculinity. There's like a, I mean, this was very anime opening coded as well, but I like the part where it goes, and it really does feel like I'm here. I am not going to stop for nothing. I am going to fight for this. I have got strength. I've got confidence. I've got virility. I have confidence. Sorry, I'm thinking about Sound of Music. I have confidence that spring will come again, but as I can see, I have confidence. Just call me Julie Andrews. But there's something about that particular theme that feels very like, you know what? No one's going to stop me. I have one life to live, and I won't let anybody get in the way of that. And that's really the thing there. It doesn't feel like it's like, what are you going to do? It's not tough. It's not like, I mean, yes, obviously it's probably some like super jacked young dude that's like ready to completely mess someone's stuff up. But at the same time, there's an emotion in there. And then we hear that in the electric guitar, that feeling of like drive, of like not being willing to accept defeat or to like concede, you know? And yeah, let's listen to one more loop. Oh, it's not a loop. Whoa, that's awesome. Yeah, let me just pause one more time. I'm going to try to keep it to like maybe 2 or 3 pauses per track, just because, you know, we want to keep the train moving, and also like I'm also enjoying listening to these for the first time. But there's something to be said for the piano here. The piano adds to that layer of confidence, right? It adds to the layer of like, but also it's interesting because it's in the upper register. So usually when we're in the upper register, there is a degree of like emotionality in that sound. I mean, the upper register tends to be like has a more feminine quality to it. It's a brighter quality. So either way, there's a sense of optimism in that upper register. Again, if it was in the middle low, that would be a different discussion. But again, I think it's really fun that we're essentially doing a bit of doubling with the piano and also continuing that electric guitar going. But the piano really actually sends it home. And what a way to make it interesting, because this could easily have been really kind of repetitive and redundant, especially on a loop. But instead, it actually fleshes itself out, which is really fun to listen to. Oh, that's cool. Oh my god, that's awesome. Oh my god, I love that. Going higher and then again, that delay, that slight delay is really special. And then we slow down. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I don't even know what this game is. Cis Celeste Under Night and Birth. I don't know what that is, but it's really impressive. And again, I think the reason why I like it so much is that it's melody forward. And while it does have tempo, it does have rhythm, it does have movement, which I think are key and important. I don't think we're going to hear a single slow song in this, but I do believe that the melody is the thing that drives it forward, and it sets home the intentions, or at least the thought process, at least to me, of course. This is all up to interpretation. I don't know the context, none of that stuff, right? Whatever. And also, like, the idea of right and wrong or true or not true, yes, we have to pay homage to what's happening on the screen, but I challenge you, like, if I'm wrong about characterization and stuff, listen to the piece again, see the context, experience the context, and then take it away anyway. Like, listen to it for the sake of listening to it, because it's a damn good piece of music, and I think that it will actually make the context much more meaningful when you have like an appreciation for the sounds that are being created for specific characters. In this case, Eltonum's theme. What an awesome piece. And again, I'll try to stop like 3 or so times just because, it's I can really get into the weeds, and we have so many tracks that we're covering today. So next up is one of my favorites. I probably won't talk too much, honestly, because I have a full video on this that you can check out here. This is Super Smash Bros. Brawl main opening theme. One of the truly best. I really believe that this piece, you could put this in a symphony hall today, in any symphony hall in the United States and Europe, and people would not know the freaking difference. And on top of that, I also think that it would be lauded and celebrated and adored. And we have to get over these prejudices of not featuring video game music in symphony halls because of this, that, or the other. Let's get rid of the barriers, because the main opening theme from Super Smash Bros. Brawl, chef's kiss. Honey mama. Honey mama. Also low key. So first of all, I love the march element to it. I mean, the snare drum and the flutes, like, it feels very much like there's a thing in opera and classical music called a marziale, which is basically just like a marching piece, right? I mean, the snare is such a synonymous thing with march, of course, and that rhythm. But this coming up, this tenor solo is actually like extremely legit. Not only that, but the singer is extraordinary. But the actual solo itself is like terrifically written, and I gotta hold myself back because I might end up singing it. That's not a threat, but it is a promise. The slowdown here, oh man, it looks so good. This is so. And then we slow down. Oh, this is glorious. A cappella. Now we pick back up with this. Nice sforzando there, where we crescendo and swing into small and large. Classic, like Hollywood. And the thing is, it's such a glorious piece, and in reality, It has a lot of ebbs and flows that are really satisfying to listen to. Obviously the first half of it's very energized, very galvanized, very focused. Then when we come into the operatic section, that's really like about like, oh man. And I think if I remember correctly, when I looked up the lyrics a long time ago, this song is really about celebration. It's about like joining in with your friends, and it's not about vicious enemies. It's about celebrating conflict and celebrating battle and celebrating like each other's strengths. And there's a real, almost a camaraderie about it that just it just lifts you up. And I mean, there's a reason why it's one of the best pieces of video game music ever written. And I know I talked over it a lot, but it's just like, it's a divine piece of music that if you had never heard before, by golly, you better go and listen to it like 10 more times, because it just does the thing. It gets you amped up. That is the point of so much of this fighting game music, is to make you feel like you're capable of doing something, and it really, that is the purpose. Now, yeah, of course, we're going to have fighting music where there's tension and there's sadness maybe, but like in general, most fighting game tracks are like, hey, wake up, let's go, baby. And I think that, Brawl, oh man, it's so damn good. Anyway, something came over me. Street Fighter Third Strike. Now, historically, I have not really known or heard very much Street Fighter. And in fact, I have a video game music quiz series that I consistently get Guile's theme wrong. I think now I'd be able to pick it up, but I'm not altogether positive. So Street Fighter has kind of been under the radar for me, and I'm really curious to hear what this is going to sound like. This is Street Fighter Third Strike, Killing Moon. 1 sec. That's 1,000,000% a bot. Okay, I got it. I took care of it. I know mods. I know you're on Twitch as well, but all right. Killing Moon. Oh, Akuma. Oh, cool. Okay, this is Akuma's stage. Oh, neat. Akuma's like the only Street Fighter character I actually am remotely interested in. Wow. I just want to stop there really quickly, because I've been playing a lot of Sonic, and there's a lot of this quality in the DNR, do not resuscitate, drum and beat, and I actually have really fallen crazy for this type of rhythm. And on top of that, Akuma's a really interesting character to me. I don't know Akuma's backstory at all, but Akuma's like look is truly like iconic. When I think of Street Fighter, I think of Akuma, and I think of Vega of all characters. I don't know why. Those are the two that I'm like, oh yeah, that's Street Fighter. Like, they're great. But the sort of like flute in there also has an edge of danger to it that I find really interesting. Mixed in with that drum and beat pattern, it really like sends home this sort of suaveness, this ability about it, like a feeling of strength. Also, surprisingly, I think the flute does a really good job of not being like, so the rhythm pattern already moves us and already gets us going, but it's nice because the juxtaposition of that, and I know we're going to deviate from it because it's, that was the introduction. The flute does a great job of like having this like sort of elegance, whether it's in like a temple. Obviously this is a stage, and it's also at nighttime. So, I can picture the moon, and I can picture like just like maybe some lights, but really it's kind of like almost like a placid sort of like, man, why are they fighting there? Like, there's an elegance about it. But I think that the D&B pattern lends itself to danger. Yeah, I'm going to stop one more time too, because what's really cool in here is that we got this, it sounds like essentially the bass And again, I think like there's a real body in that sound. And I don't know if this stage represents Akuma or not. Let's say for the sake of argument that it does. I mean, that bass is really like, we're like thinking of the size of Akuma or the strength of Akuma. And more so, I think that having the bass in the background is such a prominent instrument, I think also lets us understand how dark this stage is, and again how kind of risky it is to be in there. But it's not like a risk like danger. It's like ooh, you shouldn't be here. And I really like that sound. It's cool. Oh, whoa, what? I like it. Sounds like a dog. Ba 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 ba. I wonder if that's like the chaos. That's cool. Like a slight rewind. It shifts rhythm. It shifts meter. Yeah. Bam. Also, just the such a subtle little dangerous sound, right? That's like, oh, you shouldn't be here. That coupled with the, I also think like the sort of veneer or the, I don't know why the word tapestry came into my brain, but the veneer or the sort of like, the word I'm looking for is the uniformity, like the uniformity of the sound when it's just the flute sound, when it moves into like the sort of dog barking or like the jaggedness. It's probably not actually a dog, but like the jaggedness of it. That is like when we're running out of options, right? Like that's final round. That's like when the stakes are really high. That's when there's actual stress. Like that is like such a subtle shift. And yet we're like, oh, I gotta get this done. You know what I mean? Like there's an anxiety that emerges when we remove the legato elegance of the like that. That's I mean, so subtle and probably not even true, but it's really fun to go there headcanon wise and be like, oh yeah, that's probably because it's the final round. So there's more anxiety, there's more stress, there's more of this, there's more of that, right? What a sick, I mean, like shit. I mean, I love that. So far, I mean, we've only listened to 3 pieces, and I've loved each and every single one. I mean, that was also kind of interesting because that was also slow. I mean, it wasn't slow because we have like a pretty fat, but it's slow in a way. So Soul Calibur is a funny one for me because I know that it's actually pretty orchestral, and based on the limited amounts of Soul Calibur I've listened to, I got to tell you, I do love me some. Wait, Yoshimitsu. Yoshimitsu is from Soul Calibur or Tekken. Tekken? He's in Tekken, but he's in. No, he's in Tekken. I can't remember. Well, anyway, Soul Calibur 2, history unfolds the character select screen from this game. Yoshimitsu was definitely, I did play a bit of Soul Calibur when I was growing up, and Yoshimitsu was always the GOAT, especially that sitting spin move. Yeah. Let's check out Soul Calibur 2's character select, history unfolds. Yeah. The choir in the background. Man. Dude. That's incredible. I mean, like, that to me, I'm like naturally drawn to that. And like, now I'm like, oh, I need to hear the rest of the Soul Calibur soundtrack. And I've heard a couple other themes that are pretty orchestral. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's how you write orchestral fighting game music. It's actually insane how, you know, we have so many different iterations of what fighting game music can sound like. But the fact that we're like not shy of doing this, you know, strong rhythm, forward movement, symphonic writing with a gorgeous, delicious melody. I mean, it's really hard to deny that, like, even orchestral classical writing can be as powerful as, say, drum and bass or EDM, which I know we have quite a bit in Street Fighter 6 or whatever genre. Like, I sometimes feel like there's a little bit of apologizing that has to happen to feature orchestral music in like non-JRPGs or like open world games, but like that slaps. It's such a simple piece, incredibly melodic, satisfying to listen to. You feel ready to go, and you're ready to jump into action. And that's all through orchestra and through strings and through, you know, a pretty decent rhythm and tempo ultimately is everything with this style of game. But it was nice to hear some like real florid, playing in this particular case. And yeah, I'm a fan. There's a lot of Soul Calibur I'd actually like to dive into. And I don't know why, but I have this instinctual like urge to be like, I think Soul Calibur is probably the best fighting game. No idea why I think that. It's also not even true, but that's where I'm at. My body is telling me no. My mind is telling me no. It's irrelevant. All right, next up is Melty Blood Actress Again Current Code. Huh? Elegant Summer. Let's see. Elegant Summer from Melty Blood Actress Again Current Code. What the fuck is this? Okay. Wow. Jazz. Again, walking bass. Yeah, I really like this for a couple different reasons. One is how smooth it is. I think this actually deviates from some of the things that I was just saying about how like we wouldn't want smoothness necessarily for fighting games because they tend to be fast rhythmically and stuff. This actually does the opposite, which I think works actually incredibly well. We're sitting back, and it's more of like looking out and being like, so what? What are you gonna do? What? Come on. You know what I mean? Like there's an inherent, the walking bass, there's an inherent, so jazz is interesting because I think in the context of video game music, I think jazz does a great job. I mean, obviously it means like a million different things when it comes to, when it's implemented and how it's implemented. But in this particular case, I mean, Elegant Summer, there's like a chill vibe to it. Like, what are you going to possibly do? You can't take me on, like, oh, you want to try? Oh, you want to come over here? There's a little bit of taunting in that jazz, even though it's like extremely smooth. You know what I mean? Like there's a natural quality in that. There's a natural quality in that of saying like, let's go. I invite you. Let's try it out. I don't think you can do it. You know what I mean? It's very, very, very smooth. And I think like that's actually what makes it kind of dangerous and kind of exciting, because it's like, the fuck you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like it's extremely chill and incredibly satisfying to listen to, because it's both relaxing and it strikes you into action, and it's kind of fun to hear that in a fighting game soundscape where it's like, listen, what are you gonna do? Nothing. Like let's go. I know I just said that 4 times, but you get my drift. It's really cool. It's really cool. Hold on a tiny second, chat. I need to do one thing. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, all you guys are totally right. All you guys are totally right. It's all of those things. Furious typing with my 2 fingers. Oh, fuck. The beta for Monster Hunter Wilds will start later tonight. Must not burn out. Okay. Now we get to, of course, Tekken. And I mean, most people love Tekken's music, and for good reason. I mean, it's consistently good. I don't know how the music in Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection is, but we're going to check out Snow Castle, which must be a, again, not to be confused with Snow as, no, don't make that joke again. That was in a different video, so let's pretend I never made that joke at all. Reset. Let's check out Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection. This is the Snow Castle. Whoa. What? Baroque. That's gorgeous. What? Jesus. Oh my god, I love this. Oh my god, that guitar is going absolute bananas up top. This is Goshina, makes sense. Down, 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 down. Yeah, see, there are some tracks that you just like click with and it makes sense. Like Goshina also does not shy away from like genre bending. I mean, we see this also in there's a couple. Chad, did Goshina write Duomo di Sirio? I think he did. Yeah. Well, he definitely did the Colosseum in Tekken 8. Yeah, he did. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to check. I mean, Goshin is insane. I mean, like we hear it with Duomo di Sirio, we hear it with the Colosseum track. Also, the incredible Baroque section in here is absolutely nuts. Like the movement here is such a genre bend, and I think it's like the thing that makes me love video game music more than any other genre that exists, including classical music, because it's so spicy and all of it is unique, and mixing and matching things like this is just incredible. The first of all, the vocal chant is so empowering, so seductive, so dangerous, and then the emotion that comes through on the electric guitar is incredibly satisfying to listen to, because it feels like it's also like the two things are elevating each other at the same time. So there's like a I think more than anything, the word that just came into my brain was homogenization. And the amazing thing to me, and now Tekken occasionally in each game does have some similarities from the previous ones in terms of its soundtracks, but the soundtracks for this and all the other fighting games that we've been listening to so far is the lack of homogenization. It does not sound like everything is different. It's not always the same sound where it's all blurring together and you kind of like, oh, that's just what fighting games sound like. Like that track is sick to the point that we're going to re-listen to it because it's just incredibly satisfying to experience that. And I just love the chant. Let's re-listen so I can really, because honestly, like I was so like caught off guard by it that I barely even thought about what was happening musically. Yeah, so you get chant right away, but then the electric guitar's upper register takes it so that it actually feels like the chant and the electric guitar merge into one, which is insanely cool because it has, especially because of where it is in the upper register, we have that yell, that kind of primal scream sound, but it happens in the electric guitar, not in the voices. And then here we get this almost like drum and bass, but not quite. And then the chant is just popping off. But again, because of where it is in the register, there's such a pronounced way of producing. Oh God. Oh, this is insane. This is like a fugue. I mean, like that's nutty. Using the violins like it's such a classical writing movement there. It's just, I mean, it's hard. With a person with my kind of background, I can't help myself. Like when I hear that, I'm like, oh, it's Baroque. Oh, you know, it's like so. It's amazing. It's just amazing. Plus with a little bit of beat underneath. Don't. Oh, and then the reset. The reset is so satisfying. Listen to this reset. And then we kick in. And now we've got doubling, or at least harmonizing. And on top of that, you have this terrific brass that's just supporting it, the chords. Da, pia, pia. I mean, it's like an incredible combination of instruments there. Yeah, that's insane. That's incredible. That goes up there with me with Duomo di Sirio, and the there's a couple tracks from Tekken 8 that also I feel are as good. I mean, Goshina is just like one of the best video game music composers for a reason, and Goshina never fails to like enrapture and it, I have no words. I'm actually kind of speechless. Yeah, chat. I think I'm gonna skip Dragon Ball Fighter Z altogether, unfortunately. Just because Dragon Ball, I mean, I know it's a video game, but it's a little bit complicated. So I think we'll have to skip this one. I'm sorry about that, but it's just better. Plus, I'm getting a little bit cooked, so yeah, that will work out because there's still the King of Fighters, Guilty Gear Xrd, and Dead or Alive 2 that I need to do. So I'll just continue on with these three because that's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9 tracks. I mean, like these videos can be pretty long, and I am talking quite a bit during these. So let's check out the King of Fighters 98 Slugfest London March. Now, the only other King of Fighters track I've actually ever heard is Sora no Kiseki is most certainly Trails. No, that's not. is No Arashi Saxophone. I think that's the one it's called. Anyway, this is London March. Let's check it out. Push it. Yeah, I mean, this piece definitely is a product of its time. I actually am not crazy about this particular piece because it just kind of stays in its lane, and it's just very consistent in what it does. Now, that being said, what I think it does really well is you do feel the sense of power and Billy Kane's, like, I don't know, sort of force. It's kind of like a force of nature energy. Like that. That's really the thing that kind of is consistent in that piece. And I also just think it could have been developed more for my own personal taste. But that being said, There is that forward drive that we talked about earlier, which is what we kind of expect with fighting game themes, where we feel that sense of drive, we feel that sense of forward momentum, and we feel that sense because of the rhythm of this piece on top of the guitar, the emphasis on like raw natural power. Like this is like pure fists. This isn't any kind of like superpowers. There's nothing involved in that. This is just like in the ring, fighting each other, bruised and battered, bloody knuckles. Like that's the kind of sound that kind of comes across in this. I just personally am not really a fan of the sort of one dimension of it, even though it's like a perfectly fine, good piece. It's just very much sounds like 1998, if that makes sense. But it's cool to also see where we come from and where we end up with all the different composers and all the different ways that we can interpret a fighting game music and the spirit of a fighting game. You know what I mean? Yes. I mean, even though I didn't personally like it that much, I still think it's really cool and really worth listening to. I would love to know actually what you think of King of Fighters 98 and in general, because it's interesting though, because when I heard Arashi no Saxophone 2, well, maybe that's a later game. I'm getting my sort of time frames mixed up, but that one is like incredibly, yes, it repeats and there's a loop, but it's like incredibly deep, and really like has some stank on it and stuff. This one just ended up sounding like just a fighting game theme, which again is fine. We're not going to do a NSFW video game music stream, but I will be doing a NSFW music video. So yeah. One sec. With the weekly. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. All right. All right. Now we're doing Frieza. Okay. Great. Sorry, I'm talking with my YouTube strategist, so that's why I'm distracted because he's. I do both. Okay. Sauce covered meatballs. Oh God. No. 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 Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. I love Guilty Gear and have featured it quite a bit on the channel, and actually have some Guilty Gear coming in the not so distant future. But today, I mean, we might as well feature it on a fighting game video. Guilty Gear Xrd. I always forget how to pronounce this. Xrd. Revelator Frieza's theme. Not sure what to expect here. Let's check it out. Holy shit. That's...
This is a space.
What?
This is a space. Can you hear me? Air's enough. No need to worry.
Wow.
At least enough for two. This is a space.
What?
Information, resources, you have everything. Find what's lacking is far more difficult, except one little thing. The whole world is kind to me, but sorry, wearing a fine suit, paying by your credit card, but I cannot prove myself.
Jeez.
This is a space, babe. This is a space, babe. Can you hear me? The world may crumble down with just one piece missing. The whole world is kind to me.
Wow.
But sorry, wearing a shiny crown, paid by a large chain, I still will not convince myself.
That's terrific.
This the center
West
of
Virginia.
but we
Blue
don't
Ridge
have-
Mountains.
I'm not here.
Cool, upper red. God. Ah! What? Boom, shut, top, boom, I love it. A little bit of craziness in there. Very just beautiful piano. Gorgeous upper register harmony. Holy shit.
Sorry.
Oh, and then the dial back as we fade out, as we end. Whoa. Boom. Yum. Man, that's amazing. Yeah, you know, I Guilty Gear's music, I think, has really caused me to wake up to like new soundscapes. It's been a real blast to explore its like ins and outs, and you know, take a look at what makes it so special and so unique, and Blaze Blue as well. That particular piece really catches me off guard. I know it's the end credits, and but again, even that being an end credits theme is really just like shocking to me, because it's like it's a ballad, you know, and it's ultimately like a conversation with oneself about life, and like, what are we doing? Like, what is the point of all of this? You know, like it's and then it shifts into like the waltz part. Kind of, it's almost like it almost makes you laugh. Like, it's like you gotta laugh, like, holy shit, like, ha ha, this is crazy. Boom, bop, bo, bop, bo. And what I love about Guilty Gear's music in general, and especially the more recent stuff that I've heard, because it's so genre bendy, is the fact that it's very honest. It's extremely heartfelt. It's extremely real. And even though half the time I can't make a single ounce of sense of the poetic transliteration and like how it's supposed to, like, it doesn't always make sense to me. You can tell that it wears its heart on its sleeve, and obviously, like, you either understand it or you don't, but you ultimately don't really need to, because the music does such a good job of connecting us emotionally to the circumstances or to the character. Like, this really feels like a sort of like, holy crap, what just happened? You know, like, that's the vibe of that piece, even though it's like an end credit. I mean, like, you would expect like an end credits to be like exuberant and in front of your face and kind of smacking you about like, hey, we just finished the game. And instead this like goes a different direction. And it's like, it circumvents and subverts expectation, which I think makes it such a richly satisfying thing to listen to. Yeah, I loved that. Actually, genuinely loved that. And in fact, we have one more piece. No, don't ever say that in a YouTube video. Don't tell people how many other tracks are left, because you know what happens? Nathan, don't include this. They click off. One more piece? I'll watch it later. Don't do that. Of all the pieces that we've listened to so far today, I mean, all of these have been individually interesting, but for me, Frieza, Snow Castle, Killing Moon, and Blood Drain again, Eltman's theme, someone's theme. Those have been the ones that have really stuck out to me, that I personally really enjoy and would listen to happily. I mean, I would listen to all of these on my own, but those four have been amazing. That said, we still got more to go, because next up is Dead or Alive 2. Everyone knows about Dead or Alive. We got Blazed Up Melpamine from Dead or Alive 2. Let's check it out. I just love this. I love when video games take a classical piece of music and they say, hey, let's remix it and spin it so that it works for our game. Let's spin it so that it feels fresh and new. And yeah, man, I mean, it's incredible how cool it is to hear something like this. Hear Vivaldi in a Dead or, I mean, like in Dead or Alive, right? And to hear this sort of like, I don't necessarily know what style of music this is, right? But either way, it doesn't really matter. It's sort of electronic meets metal meets, I don't know. I don't know what genre it is, but it's just so satisfying. Like as a classical musician, to hear this music, like the validation of it cannot be understated, because like for years we would go into schools and sing operas and you know, symphony performers go and they play in small ensembles for school kids. And so to know that there's like a subset of people that played Dead or Alive too, most certainly for the music, of course, and know that they may be like, oh, that's that piece. And that might actually get them into like classical music. I don't know, man. Like that's really exciting. Like on the one hand, I feel that way. On the other hand, it's like, you know, like it'd be cool to see like a totally remix. So it's like not the same. Well, let's keep listening. Yeah. Yeah, but even there, the harp is going absolutely nuts. It really does take that Vivaldi. I believe this is Vivaldi Winter. Hold the phone. Is it Winter? I think it's Vivaldi Winter. Oh no, it's summer. I'm sorry. Or no, is it spring? It's spring, isn't it? Is it? Or maybe it's summer. No, I'm stupid. Spring is that one. Is it summer? It's got to be summer. Well, there's only 2 more seasons, so it's the fuck. Is this not Vivaldi? That's definitely Vivaldi. What is that? That's going to upset me. No, it's not autumn. Is it winter? Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, it's winter. But I forgot what I was saying. Bad edit spot. Vivaldi Winter. I just had to look up to confirm that was Vivaldi Winter. It is in fact Vivaldi's Winter. Let's keep going. Oh, the harp is crazy. Yeah. So the harp is amazing. Like just the rolling up and the rolling down, it really starts to deviate away from Vivaldi's Winter, and it really starts to get its own fragrance, if you will. But it still retains it. I like this. Yeah, and here's really cool because it goes ba yada da yada da ba da ba da. And so there's the sense of galvanization. You know, it's a funny thing. I'm a little still hung up on that Vivaldi's Winter thing because Vivaldi Winter is such a powerful piece of like, I mean, I don't actually know why Vivaldi chose to have a piece of music that was so intense for winter, which tends to be like a time period of great hibernation. But maybe there's the angst in that. Whereas in Dead or Alive 2, the Vivaldi Winter, that ends up being more agitated and angry. And, and obviously there's the thrill of the fight. But here there's a little bit of like, you can do it. There's hope. There's motivation. There's movement. It's really interesting. Call and response. And we have it in the electric guitar a little bit. Random key shifts there. Oh, nice. Oh. Wow, this track has a lot of movement. Yeah, so it's cool to have the like Vivaldi thing that we know and then take it and modify it, even though we keep the real structure of the Vivaldi Winter in there, and also add the harp and add the electric guitar, which is really, really, really cool. I think it's a piece that really feels desperate. I think it's a piece that really feels agitated, and I think it's a piece that really, I think, leans into what makes that Vivaldi Winter so interesting, and also takes it and enhances it. I'm not necessarily crazy about it because I would have liked a little bit more fleshing out, but it's certainly not a bad piece. And in fact, I think it's a really cool, again, reinterpretation of something that is so well known that someone who's played Dead or Alive 2 may not even realize that that's like a classical piece, and that's like something to be really celebrated, I think, and appreciated. I mean, we're just punching the surface. Get it? We're just scratching the surface when it comes to video game music, when it comes to we're really just scratching the surface when it comes to fighting game music. There truly is so much, and I have at least another 20 to 40 songs that I want to cover on the channel. And I have at least another 20 or 40 songs that I want to cover on the channel. So definitely let me know what fighting game tracks we should listen to. Definitely let me know which fighting game tracks you want me to listen to next. Drop those in the comments below. And as always, thanks a ton. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks a ton, everybody, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Nice, guys. Wow, what a fun 2 videos, 2 hours. Yeah, that sounds about right. Really great selections here of this fighting game stuff. It's so cool to listen to something new. Hopefully the commentary was remotely interesting. And obviously this video will stay up live. This live will stay up. I mean, it will be not unlisted. It will be public. But then, do check out that video when it does go live here in the next couple weeks. Both the weird game music and the fighting games video. Nathan works really hard to make these videos interesting, and him and I understand each other's humor really well. So it's really always fun to see the edited and finished product. Yeah, really, really cool. I hope you enjoyed this. I certainly did. Don't assault this comment section, although I suppose you could, but I probably won't read this one as meaningfully as when the videos actually come out. But yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out and watching these 2 videos. I hope you had a really good time. Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. if you're interested in Wuthering Waves, we'll be watching the 2.1, I guess, what is it? Whatever it's called, the development note. Then I'll be doing some filming, and then at 1 o'clock, no, actually probably 11:30 ish. I will be doing a Patreon live stream every Friday. We have a Patreon live stream where we listen to video game music. I'm adding a component where I'm going to be talking about the weekly roundup of video game music that I listened to this week that was not related to anything we've talked about, or maybe it was, like the Akuma stage. I might bring it up tomorrow, talking about why it's so good, why it's interesting, and what's been sort of sticking in my brain, games I've been playing. It's a new addition to the Patreon live streams, and I'm also workshopping a new title, so it's definitely more like a radio podcast episode rather than something that's like super specific. So yeah, with that, thanks a ton. Saturday, we'll be continuing Sonic Unleashed, if that's of interest to you, 9 a.m. EST, which is whatever time it is in your time zone. And as always, thanks a ton for hanging out and supporting the stream. And yeah. Oh, I meant to leave you with one thing. So sorry. I figured I'll film this as well now. Today, not actually today, chat, just go with it. This month, February 11th, marks 3 years of having a career on YouTube. And I would be remiss if I didn't at least take a few seconds of your time and mine to say thank you. 3 years is no joke. And I, every day, count my blessings from the bottom of my heart that I get to do this every day for a living. It is not something I ever anticipated to happen. In the depths of despair that I was experiencing when I started this channel, I have truly grown to find and love my life in a way that I did not think was possible. And I just deeply want to say thank you to those of you that have subscribed, liked a video, joined the Patreon, left kind comments, shared that you're going to music school, shared that you've gone to your first operas, shared how your day's going, celebrated and spent time on live streams and so much more. It's really incredible to be here still. And I just wanted to take a second out on the 3rd anniversary of this channel to just humbly say thank you. And I really am truly grateful. So thanks for watching this, and thanks for being here. And here's to another 3. Here's to another 10. Why don't I keep doing this until I'm 60? Whatever. Thanks, everybody. I really appreciate your support. And yeah, we'll talk soon. Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, of course. No, it's my pleasure. That will be a separate video too. It's really crazy how many of you have been here for so long, and really my life has changed so immeasurably. And I just humbly, I mean, what a pleasure. And I truly hope that something I'm saying is interesting and meaningful and fun. And more than anything, like, I just love celebrating video game music, and not everything needs to be a deep down analysis about this, that, and the other, right? Sometimes we just need to enjoy the goodness of a badass song. You know what I mean? And there are so many channels that pop up every day that are reaction channels that talk about video game music and the technicalities, and I'd love to celebrate those channels at some point, go through those and, give those guys a sub as well, because there's so much good stuff happening in the world of music, and it's certainly in the world of music reactions. The channel has changed a lot, and it will continue to change. I'm working with a YouTube strategist right now to really change the nature of this channel, and to really make it a place of discovery, and a place that you can come to and just celebrate. I'm really thrilled, and I'm here every day, 9 to 6 working and trying to produce stuff that is educational, fun, and at the very least a place to enjoy music. So I really appreciate it. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. The retakes are funny. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. And the best part is that if we don't align, it's really cool too, because there's no right or wrong. Emotion is such a powerful thing. And like, depending on how you perceive something and how you feel something, that's actually so valid. And I think, like, again, like the scope of the channel is really a music appreciation place. It's a place to be like, hey, let's listen to this, and like whatever you come away with it. The emotional part is the thing that all of us can hold on to. The technicalities, the analysis, the thesis, the theory, that's all stuff that like music experts can hone in for us and showcase for us. And there's a world for that, an important part of music writing and composing, of course. But there's also also the thing that all of us can do, which is just actually feel. And that's the thing that you don't need a degree to do. You don't need a degree to think or feel or connect with a piece. Sometimes you just need a little bit of a Sherpa to say, hey, this is what I think this means. What do you think it means? And to lean into that and to trust that like whatever you think is right. There's no right or wrong when it comes to music. Now, there may be right or wrong when it comes to context, but there's not right or wrong when it comes to the actual interpretation of that. And that's why I really strongly encourage you to take music that you love, listen to it, experience it in the context, and then take it and try to deviate from the context, because you'll find that the colors and the thoughts that you feel around music will actually be more meaningful when then you do that and then bring it back to the context. I really enjoy listening to music before experiencing context, because I find that the context actually becomes that much more rich and that deeper when I experience it away and then attach it to the context. And in the beginning of the channel, I really was against context, and I said, well, you don't need context in order to relate to it. But I think I was wrong. Context is important, but I don't think it supersedes your own thoughts and feelings on music. And I think that that's where I still feel pretty strongly that you should listen to things on your own and think about what they mean to you, and then apply them. It's a beautiful sandwich that I think is can be very enriching. Yeah. How much did you miss? All of it. You missed literally all of it. Oh, that's very funny. Let it be known that I was in the top 0.1% of Marco Meatball fans, according to my YouTube Wrapped. I did see the tweet about it. Yeah, I did. Yeah, so anyway, this video will stay up. Hope you enjoy it. Also, again, these videos will then be converted into actual videos. So this VOD will remain, of course. So thanks a ton, everybody. Yeah, it's really cool. I'm looking forward to spending more time with you later this week and of course into the weekend. So have a great time, everybody. Take care of yourselves, rest well, and I'll see you tomorrow morning bright and early at 5:45 a.m. EST for Wuthering Waves 2.1 live stream. See you.